My employer spoke of possible mandatory vaccination in the future. I've also heard of airlines requiring proof of vaccine to travel. I'm not okay with this, and I personally think they are pure poison. Could you please help me with this topic? Well, that's a very normal human response where you have an opinion about something and others have another opinion about something, and you feel that those in control have a strong opinion. And we want to say to you that a general way, a good way of releasing tension or resistance around things that you think government or those in charge are negatively impacting or affecting in your life experience. A good way to look at that is they're pretty disorganized. In other words, so many speak as if this is the way it's going to be, but they can't control the law of attraction, and they cannot control the 777s that line up for you and the 888s that line up for you. They cannot control your rendezvousing with the things that matter to you. In other words, no one has the power to be your point of attraction. And so in this conversation, you're putting yourself in a difficult situation because you're saying, I believe that they have the power to make me do something that I've decided is pure poison. And you'd be so much better off to say, they can't make me do it, and the universe will assist me. There are a lot of diseases. We talked to you about the propensity for disease in your bodies, and your mass consciousness reaches the place where a pandemic or an epidemic is about to explode. And a remedy that your scientists and doctors have found is something that is vibrationally accurate with the law of attraction as we know it to be, and we know it inside and out. It's attraction, attraction, attraction. And so the vaccination is going to call forth from the cells in your body a response to its slight introduction and get it ready to respond should you run across it later. It's a law of attraction based thing. There are diseases still going on in what you call underdeveloped countries that you don't have to worry about because you were vaccinated. Esther remembers standing in line for the little sugar cube with something on it. She didn't even think about what it was. It was a sugar cube as far as she knew. She was pretty young. It was polio vaccination. She preferred the sugar cube to the shot. She'd had those too. But she especially appreciated it because her mother had had polio when she was the age that Esther was then and suffered consequences from it all of her life. And so this little sugar cube seemed like a remedy to Esther, while it seems like pure poison to you. The good news is you don't have to put it in your mouth. You don't have to. They can't make you do it. So you want to argue with that further. Can feel you, not just you. There are several of you out there. We are not encouraging to take the vaccination or not take the vaccination. We're encouraging you to make a decision and line up with it about this and everything else. And when you line up, there are those who will say, I believe in the well-being of my body, and I know that my body has immunity to the things that I don't want and harmony to the things I do want. That's a good stance. But if you don't know that, if it's just lip service, then you'd be better off to get the shot Esther has been experiencing some of this with people that she knows about isolation, about mask wearing, because there are people who she adores that aren't having any of that. And that's all right with Esther. But she doesn't like it very much when they're giving her a hard time about what she's decided to do. And this is what she says to them. I believe everything that Abraham teaches. I've never known them to be wrong. And I believe that they are teaching me skills, processes to help me to align with the well-being that I so want. And every day I do those processes. And every day I do several of those processes because I want to line up with the well-being that I deserve and that's in my vortex. But I find myself often enough in a place of negative emotion to know that I am the attractor of some things not wanted. And so I've just decided to do everything I can think of doing to keep me in the place of expectation of what I want. So I'm not going to demand that I make abrupt changes to belief systems that I've had going on for a while. And that really is our strong message to you. It isn't that there are right and wrongs about things. It's that there are beliefs, some of which serve you and some of which don't serve you. And until you're sure which beliefs are which within you, then we would encourage you to take the path of least resistance, which is the path that always feels the best to you. And so to you, dear heart, we're not arguing with you one bit. If that feels like poison, take the path of least resistance and avoid it. And go in the direction of what does serve you. And to Esther, who it just seems like a delightful sugar cube that she resonated with when she was a little girl because of the experience that she learned with her mother. Could she change that belief? She sure could. Is she changing beliefs? Yes, of course she is. Since reality is perceptual, and perception is constructed by so many different factors, like evolution, culture, beliefs, etc., the writer says, is there such a thing as truth? And if there is it knowable or perceivable by us while we're still in human bodies? This truth that you're seeking is the calibration to your inner being, who was pure positive energy before you came into this physical experience, who stands in the absolute knowing of all that you have become vibrationally and calls you consistently to it. So there's not one truth, like the vaccine is right for everyone. There's not one truth like everyone should always stop at the red light. There's just the path of most allowance in any moment in time. That's your truth. How much good can you let in this moment, given what you currently believe? That's your truth. You're not going to always stand in that truth because your beliefs are going to evolve. We talked to you in some personal sense today about Esther's beliefs. In other words, she is in a constant state of calibrating her thoughts to that which she knows her inner being is thinking or knowing about subjects. So your truth is, let us put it to you in these terms. If we're standing in your physical shoes, we'll give you an affirmation. Affirmations are good to consider when you're feeling aligned, as most of you are. Today, no matter where I am, and no matter what I'm doing, and no matter who's around, who I'm observing, or who I'm doing whatever I'm doing with, it is my dominant intent to look for that which feels the best in every aspect of it. This is my truth. This is my North Star. This is my guiding light. This is the way I align with well-being and allow evidence of it in my life, and maybe, as an example, in the lives of others around. These are wonderful times, and the evolution is extraordinary. We have to say to you, we've not done this before, but it's very strong. And so we're going to be a cooperative component in it. The non-physical energies are pulsating with throngs of energies who were at one time doctors and scientists, who now stand in their non-physical beingness, reveling in the brilliance of these vaccines. Knowing that what they knew was part of the foundation that is leading to the solution. Each of you is part of that as well. Because source energy is always focused upon what is the best for the most. There is great love here for you. And for now, we are joyously complete.